Marvel hates black people. I mean, that's what people say, right? Because of the Blade cancellation, because of Wonder Man being canceled, people saying that because of Sam being sidelined, or where is Mark Rambeau? I guess people haven't watched the Marvels movie. I'm gonna debunk all this and let you guys know what's going on, and really like kind of get into why people think all this, and to kind of debate about the greater MCU and everything. All right, so we'll start with Mr. Simon. Simon, I really don't feel like because of his show being canceled, is that kind of some sign that like Marvel's being racist? Because it's like, dude, like he's a smaller character, West Coast Avengers, like he's not as big as like Spider Man. We gotta stop his fans getting into this mindset just because it's a big company, because it's like Disney or something. They're gonna just dump money into something like this. Like it still has to work, still has to make its money back, kind of thing like that. So does it really make sense for them to like kind of do that when what they already said like recently too, they're gonna slow down on kind of projects and everything due to a lot of you guys who hate on Marvel, and just people in general saying that, hey, I don't like to watch all these shows and all this content. Okay, we're gonna do less content, do like maybe a show or two a year, and like a movie or two a year, instead of like all the crap they're doing, like four shows and like two movies a year and all that stuff. Like now when we slow down and do things like that, people are upset, and it's like, well, we got the One Man Show at all, I would have never thought as a comic fan we would ever even get one of those. So you kind of have to like, one, like, I wouldn't say be grateful to like the Almighty Mouse or anything, but it's just like, like, doesn't mean we're not gonna see him again. Like, come on, like he'll show up or something, like, he'll show you that's what's good about the cameos. You guys showing the cameos so much. That's kind of what this is. There's so many characters and so many things to do. There's only so many projects to do. If do you want X-Men or do you want fucking goddamn Simon? It's like, come on. All right, next we have Mahershala Ali and his Blade. All right, he actually stepped away from it, so that part of is kind of true. Like he isn't gonna be Blade. He just feels like Marvel. I actually, I guess of right now that's what he's saying, right? He's like, like right now, like if Marvel wants to make the movie, if they wanted to actually make it, they would have made it already. It's just not me right now. They took so long. They played with my heart. Cool, right? The movie is actually still coming out though. We're still getting a Blade movie. That's still happening. So look what's going on. They're trying to jump into the multiverse, and do all these different things. They really have time to like do things like these two things. And yes, that will, but kind of be after Secret Wars, and they get done. Oh, well, okay, we got to introduce Doom and Fantastic Four, who were actually super close with him. We just got them in one movie, so if they do that and then spend more time in that instead of that, and then it's like you guys can complain about they didn't flesh out Doom enough. It's like, come on, let them cook. A lot of these things here, like I said with Simon, maybe we'll get like a West Coast Avengers show, and then he would show up, or like Mahershala Ali, I'm sorry, he might be kind of done with it, but the Blade character might go on to somebody else. Maybe they back up that money truck and he comes back, and then we get like a Midnight Sun show with him and Moon Knight and Elsa Bloodstone, and come on, like, have hope. All right, these next ones kind of be fast. We see we have here Sam right here. You know, he's not really sidelined. Like I said, there's just a lot going on. Like, is he as popular as a character as Steve Rogers? No, but what do you want him to do? Like, he's still, that's what it is in the comic books. Like a lot of people like him still. Steve isn't here. So not for right now until we actually get there. In Secret Wars. So in Doomsday. So it's like he'll be around. I mean, like, he's coming back. I just, like, there's so many different characters. You got X-Men showing up. You think like people are gonna pop more for a Nightcrawler, or like Sam was. I mean, like, that's no like dunk on Sam. I like Sam, but it's just like it's just the truth of the matter. So it's that's a lot of that is just like that's what's in the books. Like we can't really do too much about that. Besides, I mean, like, if you guys really want to get together that much and be like, hey, oh, we hate Sam, but like a lot of people like him. Like, and he does dope work. Wait for after Secret Wars. When we get that fresh new MCU for them to kind of like flesh those kind of characters out, because I do feel like he'll stay around because that's who is Captain America right now. So they kind of want to reflect what's going on in the books, what's going on, and show inside the movies too. So we'll end up getting more Sam. Just hold off on that. But that's no way showing that they're racist or anything. Then we have Photon. All right. you guys just need to watch more Marvel content with this one. This one's just really dumb. Like, what do you mean? Where is she? Have you watched the Marvels? At the end of Marvels, she kind of got zapped into the X-Men universe. You know, she went through that portal, boom, went to the whole other universe, and this was years ago, guys. Like when I see a lot of comments saying that they're not seeding Doom and seeding the multiverse like they did with Thanos, I'm like, come on, you guys just really aren't watching the content, because you're telling on yourselves when you say like, hey, I'm not watching something like the Marvels, and then you come and do things like this, because it's like, well, yeah, like they kind of showed you where she was. That was the whole thing, tying into things now we have with Spider-Man and the X-Men. And they're like, oh wow, like that took some years. Well, yeah, it takes 2 years to make movies. Like, let them cook with that. But they fully explain where she is. Like, watch the Marvels, guys. Like, there's a whole post-credit scene for that. Come on. I don't know. Like I said, with a lot of this, guys, is it's just a lot of frustration, confusion from like the casual fan, and you really can't blame Marvel for canceling these projects and then sidelining Sam. I mean, well, the character has sidelining himself in the comics because that's just how fans want him. The black fans included aren't really showing up for Sam like that. So I mean, what do you want them to do? Show up for him more, man. Come watch his movie. Hell, the movie wasn't that bad too. By the way, I don't care what anybody says. Like, we act like these are like the worst things that's ever like been created. That was not a bad movie. We used to like B movies and things now, and we just like shoot on things. If it's not a 10 out of 10, if it's not like Nolan esque, it's just poo. And it's like, that was a pretty solid like action film, bro. We got to see Cap actually be Cap fight a Hulk. Like, we would have loved things like that back in the day. When I see people like, oh, like Stanley would roll in his grave and all these things, like, no, we actually would be crying to see things like that. Oh, it's a black Captain America. Even if he was from like a different reality, or something happened to Cap, like what happened now, it's like, well, that's still cool. We still care about these characters. I don't know, like, but I'm sorry for tangent. And you guys, let me know what you guys think, man. This one's just dumb. It's like, come on, bro. Watch the Marvels. But you guys debate about it. Let me know. I'll be debating about it in the comments. Peace out.